is a circle showing a tangent, right?
Yeah.
So which line is showing the tangent here?
Uh, the line L.
The line L. That's perfect. So the circle C has center 7, 8. So in this question, we have been given the opportunity of having the center coordinates, and that is the 0.78. So if I'm just to write that, close to your P, I will have 7, 8 here as the coordinates at the center, and we have the point Q as 10, 13, right?
Yeah.
10, 13, as shown in the figure 2 above. The first part says we should find the length of PQ. When we learned about, when we did some study on coordinate geometry the last time, we talked about how to find the distance between 2 points. Is that okay?
Yeah.
The distance between 2 points. So if you have a point here and you have another point here, if you draw a line from a point to another point, it could be referred as the length of the line. Is that okay?
Yeah.
It could be the length of the line. It could also be called the distance between 2 points. Can you remember the formula for the distance between 2 points?
Is it the square root of x minus a squared?
X minus
Or
a
sorry, no,
squared.
no. X2 x sorry, yeah, x2
Okay.
minus x1
X1, okay.
plus
Plus what?
brackets x sorry, y2 minus y1 close brackets.
So I appreciate your efforts. I appreciate your efforts a whole lot, but you were almost close. The only thing that you did not add was the square that is
Squares.
meant to be here and also here. Good efforts, but please try to be accurate, because if you had not put in the square, then the answer to that question was always going to be wrong. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And if your A part is wrong, it definitely would affect the P part. So you are going to lose 4 marks, because of not putting a square. You need to be extremely careful. Is that okay?
Yeah.
But kudos on your attempt. I really appreciate the fact that you were even able to, give the formula to that extent. So we can use anyone here. We can call this the X1, Y1, and call this the X2 and the Y2. Is it okay?
Yeah.
So the length of your PQ, which is the radius, because from the P to the Q is the radius, the length of your PQ can be written as the square root of your X2. So we say 7 minus 10 squared. Please take note of it that you can use anyone as your X1, Y1, and anyone as your X2, Y2. So if I want to use my 7, 8 as my X1, Y1, there is no problem. If I want to use my 10, 13 as my X2, Y2, there is also no problem whatsoever. So 7 minus 10 squared plus what are we going to have on the other side?
You can have the 8 minus 13
Is that all?
squared.
Squared. Don't forget the squared. So it gives me the square root of what? What is minus 3 squared?
9.
Okay.
So you get root 34.
9 plus what?
25.
25. So that gives us root 34. I like your speed, but don't let us be too much in a haste, right? So don't forget to add your, it says give your answer as an exact value. An exact value in this case means we are leaving our answer as root 34. Because if I find the square root of 34, I'm looking at something like 5.8309. It is recurring. It is recurring, and that is not exact. So the exact value here means you are not allowed to leave your answer in the decimal form. So we'll leave it as root 34. Don't forget to add your units. Is that okay?
Yeah.
The reason why you must add your unit is because length as a quantity has a unit. Is that okay?
Yes.
So having found the first part of the question, it's 2 marks. The next part is asking us to find what? The equation of C. And of course, C is our circle. And that is where the formula you were trying to call out the other time comes handy. And that's your x minus a squared plus the y minus the b squared equal to what?
Radius squared.
The r squared. Excellent. So in this question, what is your a and what is your b?
So the a is the 7. The
Excellent.
B is the 8.
Okay, x minus 7 squared plus what? The y minus 8 squared is equal to the square root of 34 squared. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to, this is an A-level class, and I expect that expansion should not be a problem. Do you want me to show you how to expand, or you already know how to expand?
I know how to expand.
So if I expand the first one, you are going to expand the second part, and I am going to expand this first part, and you will help me with the expansion of the other part. So expand his first part.
Sorry. Why are we expanding it?
Because we want to leave the equation of the circle in the form x squared plus the y squared plus gx plus your fy plus c plus the c equal to the 0, right? Your equation must always be in this form. Is that okay?
Okay.
If you notice the previous questions, which we solved, and if you notice the question here, you will notice that in questions 1 and 2, you saw the form in which they left the equation, right?
Yeah.
So it's only normal to always leave our equation in that form. Is it okay?
Yeah.
So I'll expand the first, and like I said, you expand the second. The first would give me x squared minus 14x plus 49. So what are we going to have, on the second part?
Y squared
Okay.
minus 16x plus 64.
Minus 16x or 16y.
Oh, sorry, 16y minus 16y.
Plus 64 or minus 64.
Plus 64.
plus 64. And what is the square root of 34 squared?
34.
Excellent. You know, I'm proud of you. You have shown great exploits, and I'm really, really happy about that. So if we bring all these things together, we have x squared. That means we have picked out the x squared. We have picked out the x squared. The next thing is also to pick out the y squared, right?
Yeah.
So we would have plus the y squared. And the next is to pick out the minus 14x, because after the x squared and the y squared, the 14x comes. You know, after that we have the 16y, or rather the minus 16y, right? So we have cancelled all this. What we have left is 49 plus 64. What's 49 plus 64?
That is 113.
So plus 113 equals to 34. And of course, this 34 has to be moved inside, so I can have 0 on the other side. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So when we do that, we are expecting to have x squared plus the y squared minus the 14x minus the 16y plus 113 minus 34 should give us what?
113 minus 34 should give us 79.
79, and we have equal to 0 on the other end. So what we have here is the equation of the circle. Is it okay?
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's quite explicit. It's easy. It's not stressful. You know, the first two parts is always a stroll in the park, where most of us would encounter a glitch, you know, which I don't think you are one of them, because you have shown, you know, serious prowess in your coordinate geometry. But where most people will have an issue is finding the equation of the tangent. And like I said, you should not be one of those people having such a glitch. However, we are going to solve this question to recreate the understanding, after which you might need to solve a question for me on your own. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So the third part, which is the 4 marks, you know, says that the line L is a tangent to the circle at the point Q, right? It's a tangent at the point Q. Don't forget that we have the coordinates of P. The coordinates of P is has been given to us as 7, 8, and the coordinates of Q has also been given to us as 10, 13. So if I want to find the equation of the tangents, we said the other time that a radius is always perpendicular to a tangent at the point of contact, which means the radius, which is from the P to the Q, you know, and the tangent, they are perpendicular to each other. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Now, once they are perpendicular, then we can decide to find the gradient of the radius. And the gradient of the radius is the change in the y, and the change in the y divided by the change in the x. So we're going to have 13 minus 8 divided by 10 minus 7. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So the gradient of the radius is 5/3. Now, if the radius has a gradient of 5/3, what is the gradient of the tangent?
-3/5.
Excellent. You know, Willem, I am really, really happy with you. One, for not forgetting what you have learned in previous weeks. You know, I'm really, really happy with you. So, and I'm sure that your minus 3/5 came because when two lines are perpendicular, you know, their gradients must be the negative reciprocal of each other. You know, the negative inverse of what of each other, and that is excellent. So once we've achieved that, we can say that our y is equals to mx plus c. Is that okay?
Yep.
Your y is what? Which y are we using? Is it one for p or the one for q?
For to find the
E-
tangent, it's
yes, please.
Q.
Q. The reason why we'll be using Q is because your P is not on the line.
Yeah.
Your P is not on the line. Any coordinate on the line is okay, but unfortunately, the only coordinates that we have is the coordinate 10, 13. So your X is 10, your Y is 13. We say our 13 equals to minus 3 over 5 times our 10 plus the C. Is that okay?
Yep.
So the 13 is that should be minus 6 plus C. So we expect our C to be 19. Once the C is 19, we have our equation as what? Once our C is 19, I'll just rub off this other side. So once the C is 19, what are we going to have? We would have our y equals to minus 3 over 5x plus 19. But don't forget, they say we should leave our equation in the form ax plus the by plus c equals to 0, where a, b, and c are integers. So what should we do to move ourselves to that step?
So times everything by 5.
Excellent. So if we do that, we would have 5y is equals to minus 3x plus what?
95.
Plus 95. That's good. So if we want to leave it in this form, we should be having 3x plus the 5y plus 95 or minus 95.
Minus.
Minus 95 is equal to the 0. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's excellent. So I'm sure you understand you understood all that we solved, right?
Yeah.
Good. So if you understood it, it's time for you to solve a question for me. You know, after which I will allow you to have a rest for today, and hopefully we would meet